Hey everybody, it's Richard S. from Richard's Vinyl Taphouse. Welcome to the April finds video for what came into the Taphouse this month, other than record store day stuff. I did a whole video on record store day pickups, and that was a good time. Expensive, but it was good. Hope yours was good too. Quick catch-up item. This came in March. I forgot to talk about it. It's Stereophonics Best of Double CD set that I found on eBay. Pretty amazing track listing. This is actually the only Stereophonics thing I have. Recommended by Christopher Mann over at the Vinyl Man channel, and I picked this up fairly cheap and gave it a listen, and yeah, I was suitably impressed. They have a pretty amazing catalog of really decent songs, so I thought the best stuff was gonna do me, but I haven't yet sampled their new album that just dropped last week, I think, and Chris is saying that's really good too, so I'll have to listen to that. Miscellaneous items that came in that aren't really vinyl related, but group related. Twilight Sad, it won't be like this all the time. T-shirt, they were having a kind of a clearance sale for the Twilight Sad's website. Unfortunately, their shirts are printed in the United States. They have like a US shop. So I picked up this on the cheap for like 15 bucks, which I thought was pretty good. It's kind of a pairing with this album that came out a few years ago called what my shirt is called. Why can't I remember things? It won't be like this all the time. So this is the UK edition. I also got another shirt that's related to this album. It's one of my favorites. Nobody Wants to Be Here, Nobody Wants to Leave. Probably one of their strongest, darker albums. They're kind of like The Cure if you're not familiar with them. And the shirt is pretty cool. It has a very weird graphic on it, but they were cheap. I love when I can find A, clothes that fit, and B, that are band related for cheap. Why not? April started off with the release of Tracy Chapman's reissue of her debut album, which is absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't heard this, 35th anniversary of her debut. Really amazing artwork, lyrics in this is interesting. It's lyrics in English, and then there's a whole separate pull-out of lyrics in Italian, French, Spanish, and German even. So yeah, we're covered internationally almost for Tracy Chapman. Beautiful album. Glad to finally have that. Record Store Day. I'm not going to talk too much about that, but the day after Record Store Day was when some of the British stores started releasing their things online to hopefully pick up. I tried out Banquet Records in outside of London. Sometimes I usually find some good things. I was looking for the Kasabian album, their debut album, and it was just extortionately expensive. So I started looking around, and I found an original 10-inch, double 10-inch of Kasabian's debut album. Very spiffy looking. Sounds great. This is kind of trippy, I don't know, dance pop. What would you call it? Hard to describe Kasabian because they've morphed quite a bit over time. I like this one because the singles were actually really strong off this one. Clubfoot was huge. I think Reason is Treason was one. LSF, Lost Souls Forever. And I think Cutoff was another single off of this. I absolutely love this album, and I've wanted it on vinyl forever. Finally have it. That was good. Another vendor on eBay that I regularly buy from once every other month. I'm perusing through their catalog of offerings, and they had a bunch of things that I just didn't have yet on vinyl. So I picked up 3 things from them. One was Bowie's The Man Who Sold the World. Never knew this was released on Parlophone rather than RCA. Not sure what that was about. Very heavy Bowie album, kind of crunchy guitars, and yeah, really interesting, very different. This almost completes my Bowie vinyl collection. I think I'm missing this Station to Station, a couple of others maybe. Also picked up, yeah, I have never owned this, the Clash's debut album. Yeah, the price was right, so I thought, why not? Super album, lots and lots of Biggie songs on here. Yeah, Remote Control, White Riot, Hate a War. Kind of made the definition of early UK punk. And this is almost embarrassing because I'm a huge Smiths fan and I did not own this on any format. I didn't have this on CD or vinyl until this month. So yeah, the debut Amazement of the Smiths, Unleashed to the World super album, lyrics, photos, all that good stuff. Fantastic, strong album. Still, I'm going to say it's not my favorite. That's going to be The Queen is Dead forever and ever. But another great one. A couple of more things. This is a new album that released, was it this year? It might have been beginning of this year. A group called The Laughing Chimes. Check out that artwork, kind of gothic-y looking. They're from southeastern Ohio. I would have never guessed that. I kind of liken this to, how would I describe this? Gothic REM, so it's like Americana shoegaze. Go figure. Kind of dream pop elements, a lot of vocal reverb. The lyrics are kind of like small town band that's trying to get away. So they're just some young folks that are just trying to, get in there. Great album. Atrophy was a kind of a standout. Country Idolism. Cats Go Car Watching. Interesting names for the titles. I think the titles alone kind of sold me on this. But I streamed it and I went, wow, this is really interesting. So I picked this up on the fairly cheap Amazon, if I remember right. Then last but not least, I said in my Gary Newman introduction video that I was not going to pick this up. And yeah, I caved. I bought the new Gary Newman reissue of Berserker. It's 41st anniversary now. Yeah, it's just on black vinyl, but it's a double album, remastered. It sounds very beefy. There's a lot of bass elevated in here and pushed forward. Yeah, much better sounding than the original, in my opinion. Lots of kind of B-sides, some of which belong at this era. A couple of songs. This Ship Comes Apart is actually a B-side from a song that was released on a 12-inch from the album after this called The Fury. Go figure. I don't know why it's on here. But good stuff. The other, I'm not going to buy the 4th CD version though, because I have literally all of that material. Is that everything? My gosh, I thought I had a lot more than that. But anyway, end of April, beginning of May. What's May gonna bring? I don't know yet. I have some things on pre-order. We'll see if they arrive on time. And we'll see you again in May. We'll do it again. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.